Yeah! 8711, fuck yeah!
You know the coolest thing was fighting ninjas in the street while cars were driving by. That was sweet. Oh, yeah. It was like a whole bunch of things you're not supposed to do, and you did.
You know, to actually be a part of like a ninja movie is like really, really cool.
People are taking some huge wrecks, and there's going to be a lot of things that people have probably never seen before in it.
I think the action is going to be absolutely extraordinary. It's been amazing for me to see just how skilled the guys who play the ninjas are.
Part of like the rationale of the film was like to hopefully take it to another level beyond what we'd all done.
Taking it a little bit further and trying to incorporate extreme sports and other disciplines.
Out of all the films I've worked on, this team has the most talent, I think, put together. Free runners, acrobats, martial artists.
I think our whole theme for this project was human talent and trying to put together the most talented stunt team we could find.
We didn't want to rely on wire work, camera tricks, editing, visual effects. We wanted to get some really good guys doing some really good motion and capture that on film. Well, I think when some of us got started in the stunt industry, it was you brought what talents you had into the business and you kind of learned to adapt those in. No one really told you or showed you, you kind of learned through trial and error. And there was no real urgency to carry those skills to the next level. After a couple years in the business, we decided, well, we're getting older and there's so much more talent out there, especially looking at some of the disciplines now between free running, parkour, loop kicks, modern gymnastics, and the X Games, that we're like, well, we should go out, actively recruit these talented people and actually teach them and help them use their super above average skills into a way that will best befit the movie industry.
We have a real vested interest in this. We direct a good portion of the film, and that's something we've been wanting to do for a long time. So we called on our guys a lot more than we would if it was just a regular show.
Well, every stunt coordinator will have their little posse, the guys that they hire, rehire, that kind of thing. But we knew what this movie was going to take. And since everybody's seen everything else, bring the best.
So we went about putting together a team that had either parkour training, martial art training, or a high level of acrobatic training.
So that's exciting. Good young team, strong young team.
Everybody is extremely talented, world-renowned in their field.
I'm looking forward to, I have a fight scene with Rain that's in the apartment, and I get to throw a couple twists and flips along with the sword.
Is Jackson here to throw the kick? Yes. That's your cue to go down. Loop kicks is an acrobatic form of tournament martial arts. It's mostly acrobatic with the martial art discipline tied into it.
Our styles, we've been able to combine acrobatics with martial arts, so we can do the fight scenes, the martial arts fight scenes, but still find a place to throw a trick that you wouldn't ordinarily see.
We just decided how ninjas were going to move. They were going to be very athletic, very catty. The best thing we could find to how they move or how they ran or how they jumped was how the parkour guys moved. We always wanted to do a martial art fight sequence in the middle of traffic. So we used cars and vehicles as the obstacles, coming right at our ninjas, and ninjas would hop, flip, or jump over them. We had several doubles for our cast. One of them was Damian Walters.
My main reason for being here is because I'm a gymnastic tumbler, and just to basically do all the crazy stuff. All the high somersaults and big tricks is basically why I've been brought here.
We took Damien, who's already been invested some time into the parkour discipline, and with an athlete of that kind of ability, we kind of took some of our vehicles and some of our obstacles, put his ability into it, and he came up with some really cool motion.
I think that's one of the things that Chad and Dave brought to the table very early on, was a very sort of clear idea of where they felt that it would be possible to extend the action possibilities within the limits of the script. It's all for real. It's all, shatteringly real, really.
The thing I'm looking forward to most is the big free-running parkour scene.
We took the parkour mentality, found a defunct power plant that we call the Safe House. It had so many obstacles and so many different levels that I thought, this would be great to kind of jump the gaps and do all the stuff. The art form known as parkour, or its offshoot free running, has been around for a while. It's a discipline of motion, you could say. Really getting from point A to point B in the most efficient way possible, under, over, around, off of, just direct line over obstacles. And there's this pre-described set of motions that the parkour guys have kind of worked out in practice, which to them is the most efficient way to achieve that. We have a particular team that we're friends with in the stunt community here in Los Angeles. A guy named Rich King, who's a stunt friend of ours, who's involved in a free-running parkour team.
What they're implementing as far as the fight choreography goes and all that stuff, I mean, it's just awesome. They're always coming up with new ideas and ways to make the audience just ooh and ah.
Again, we wanted to try something new with film, how it was shot.
It's a little trick we picked up from Zack Snyder, the director of 300. It's basically 3 cameras mounted through a prism. One has a wide-angle lens, one has a medium lens, and one has a very a tight lens on it. So essentially you're shooting a wide shot, a medium shot, and a close shot all in one, and the cameras are refracted through a prism or a mirror, which helps the camera to pick up almost an identical angle. So with the help of a little visual effect digital zoom, it just kind of pops in and out of the action. So you don't really see a real cut in there, and it kind of keeps you within the action sequence without the sense of cutting. Choreography is three-dimensional. With the previs, we shoot it out just to see if we like the motion, we like the camera angles. It gives us a sense of rhythm and beats. I mean, are we taking this too far? Is it not going far enough? You kind of go like that, so we get some kind of rhythm to the action. We all talked about the bathroom scene quite a bit. There's too many times where we've seen in films the guy's first kill is cool, calm, and collected. We didn't want it to go as planned. So from the very first poke, it didn't go Rain's way.
That kind of tickled.
In fact, it never went Rain's way to the very end. We wanted to dispel the myth of Rain having, evolved to the point where he can just have like a ninja death touch. Our final scene is when we have our modern-day elite soldiers attacking the ninjas in their home. At the end of it, Rain does a small fight sequence with his brother. And ultimately faces his former master, Sho Kosugi.
In early pre-production, we both mentioned Sho.
We're both big Sho Kosugi fans. For his age, he was in fantastic shape, warmed right up, jumped right into choreography, didn't want to stop.
Dave and Chad, they know, I know a lot of stuff, So I started training with them, but few days, no, you don't need to train anymore.
I think Sho really delivered. I think he was fantastic. We kind of just want to show we have a very talented stunt team, and we want to show what real people can do.
It's nice to see their years of nurturing others sort of pay off with the crew they've assembled here.
Wait, shoot!
I don't think there's violence. We just think there's glorific action. Big difference.
And hey, shut up! Shoot!